Oh, and hey, don't forget, thedisneydan.com is where you can go to find all of the links to our sponsors, to our social media, Patreon links, anything and everything good. Listen to me. Fantasmic is the greatest thing Disney Parks has ever done.
Period.
No, I'm not talking about that lame one at Hollywood Studios either. I'm talking about the king, the GOAT. GOAT stands for greatest of all time, Kenny. That's what the kids are saying these days. I heard the hype of Fantasmic growing up, but my first exposure to it was like on a high school band trip. We all went to see the Fantasmic show at Hollywood Studios, MGM Studios. It's interesting being a Florida tourist experiencing Fantasmic for the first time at a park like MGM Studios, where I've got a car stunt show, I've got a backlot stunt show, I've got an Indiana Jones stunt show, and now I'm walking up this 15-minute long path, into this big like Olympic event arena space with like rafters and like a mountain made of metal. Like, what is this, just another stunt show? MGM Studios poisoned the water of Fantasmic for me for a long time. And it wasn't until I walked into a seating of it at Disneyland that I realized that Fantasmic might be the single greatest thing that Disney Parks has ever done, and we need to talk about it.
We're already talking.
For the record, Kenny just rolled his eyes when he said we're already talking about it, so I just would like the record to show that Kenny did that. Before I talk about that, Kenny, I have to address that I'm starting this video like Mickey Mouse starts Fantasmic in a suit. Boom.
You like that?
The Rivers of America in Disneyland is like the second hub of the park. From there, you have access to the Disneyland Railroad, Haunted Mansion, Splash Mountain, Pirates of the Caribbean, Big Thunder Mountain. It's a main thoroughway through the entire park, and it surrounds a pretty iconic jungle gym known as Tom Sawyer's Island. And right here is where Fantasmic takes place, right on the banks of the places you've been playing at all day long. Right off the bat, there's a sort of magical intimacy with the entire performance that comes out of seemingly nowhere. The experience is organic. It literally is like a living part of the park. Before we dive too deep into this parade, and that's right, Fantasmic's actually part of the parades department at the parks, not the stage entertainment departments. This was an iconic show that opened up in 1992 at Disneyland, thanks to the technology that was slowly being rolled out in all the endless Epcot Lagoon shows, and most prominently Illuminations, the iconic one that just recently kicked the bucket. It was that show in Epcot that kind of got the creative juices flowing with the Disney management to be like, hey, we need to think about putting a show in the Rivers of America. Pronto. When they greenlit the whole Fantasmic project, they tore apart Disneyland for a while. They drained Rivers of America. They built the entire, wheelhouse that you see that's the stage for the entire show, hollowing out big parts of the island, making big basements to house literal dragons, all right? Dragon basements is what we dug out. There was lots and lots of work, and it took some time. We ended up with this beautiful organic stage that just felt like another part of the park that was already deeply themed. I'm going to be primarily focusing on Fantasmic 2.0, the most recent version of it, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about the older versions and the different various scenes that have come and gone from the show throughout the years.
We now invite you to join Mickey and experience Fantasmic.
The show starts off with that very calm voice telling you that we're about to enter into Mickey's imagination. Mickey pops up, like he does, magically, as all mice do when they enter a stage. He's dressed tucked to tails. Tucks to tails? Tucked to tails? No, he doesn't tuck his tails. His tail might be tucked, though. I didn't look. Mickey shows up in a full tuxedo right at the top of the show to introduce you to his chaotic imagination. And hey, in this new version of Fantasmic, the projection mapping is cool, man. We've got fireflies floating all over the place. Really my favorite part about the opening, this whole opening segment, the random Mickey Mouse like, oh, oh.
Wow. Woo.
Mickey's like a grandma at a museum, you know what I mean? Very easily impressed. Then Mickey realizes he's in control, it's his imagination, so he just starts throwing, he's just like, water there, explosions here, color there. He's like, you know what? This has been fun. I'm gonna go jump into my cartoon imagination, and right off the bat, Mickey leaps into the animations and he turns into Sorcerer Mickey. I mean, I really love this montage of all the brooms, you know. There's just brooms. There's so many brooms. It's like a broom pyramid scheme. Like each broom makes more brooms. Some really beautiful projections at this point of Fantasmic that go into this whole floral number, right? Every kid wants to come to Disneyland to see flowers. That's like, they put that on the posters. Come to Disneyland, see flowers. After the big floral number, we transition into jungle number, and we get a little bit of Lion King before we're hit with a giant snake. And here's a great example of how Fantasmic is a parade ultimately, because we have essentially a parade unit. We have a bunch of cast members, each holding individual pieces, moving in a long line, just like they'd be snaking around the streets of Main Street, presenting a really cool parade float. And almost immediately after that, it's reinforced with 3 parade water floats full of dancing blacklight monkeys. Interesting fact about these dancing blacklight monkeys is this dance combo is the thing you have to do when you want to audition to be a dance person at Disneyland. So you got to know the monkey moves. Oh yeah, dancer. What I mean by that is dancer. If you ever want to be a dancer at Disneyland. I like the whole jungle montage of Fantasmic. I think it's cool. And then it rolls into just a full-blown psychedelic adventure into pachyderms. Pink pachyderms. And what I mean by pink pachyderms is elephants. Did I not, what, was there just a movie I wasn't watching? Like, where is this from? This is terrifying. I'm gonna see these elephants in my sleep later when I close my eyes. And just like that, we went from elephants to Genie interviewing a Sorcerer Mickey. You know, we didn't really get any explanations why Sorcerer Mickey. He just did a quick costume change, and you know what? I felt like that was appropriate. And let me go on the record by saying wizards were right. All right, they're just, this is the way to dress, guys. I don't know what we're doing wearing like ties and stuff. Just dress like a wizard. Man, I'm so comfortable. I'm so comfortable, I might be able to cast a spell. That's all I'm saying. Man, hasn't Genie's good name been ruined lately? You don't want to see Genie around the parks anymore. He's going to take $15 from you and tell you what to ride. No, Genie, I don't have any wishes. No, you give me $15 and I'm going to put you on a Star Wars ride.
Everybody's got a price.
Look, I'm all about this whole Pinocchio journey that the original Fantasmic took, and now the revamped Fantasmic's kind of trying to stick to. I love the whole whale segment. They used the projection with those big light trees to make the whale look gigantic, like he's about to swallow the whole audience. And right from there, because we're already in the ocean, and it would only make sense to just go into a pirate ship number, right? And so boom, cannon goes, and we are dropped right into the middle of a pirate battle. There have been times where I have been on the Pirates of the Caribbean robotic attraction and then have exited the thing to stumble upon a real pirate battle going on in the waters outside the attraction. Like, I mean, give me a ticket to that literally every night. In the OG Fantasmic, this was a Peter Pan number, which was super cool. I love stunts on big floats. And again, to reinforce that this is just a parade, here is a big float where a bunch of cast members are doing stunts on it. There's no different than the whole, fantasy parades that we've been seeing time and time again, where we have, tangled, thugs riding big swinging things. Like, this is just more stunts on parade floats. The next most logical transition would just be to slip into some romantic princess ballads, right? Right. And with new Fantasmic, here's where we get that Pinocchio replacement with a flying magic carpet. This is a real effect that's practical, that's being done in front of your eyes, with a combination of just literally like smoke and mirrors at this point. The 3 boat floats that we saw earlier in the show during the whole, monkey number have been flipped and rotated and redecorated to be adorned with beautiful princess designs, and now they're full of dancing princesses. Originally, it was Ariel, Snow White, and Belle, but Snow White was replaced with Rapunzel when the show was revamped in 2017. Everybody watching, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks for leaving your comments. Thanks for liking and subscribing. It's all been such incredible support. It helps get the word out on every new video. Each time you watch, comment, and like helps someone else watch the video. And so that's invaluable to me. Thank you very much for helping support and watch. Also, big thanks to all of those Patreon supporters out there. That list at the end of these videos keeps getting longer and longer, and I'm just so incredibly honored. Thanks for our supporting and getting access to all that really great bonus content behind the scenes and early peeks into all of the distories that we put out. There's so many great ways to support, and thanks so much for everything you guys do. After all those pretty princesses, the only logical thing to do is dive right into villains and go super evil. So Sorcerer Mickey's back with the magic mirror, and Magic Mirror's like, "Hey, be careful, your imagination's getting and Mickey's like, "Hey, don't talk to me like that. I'm Mickey Mouse." And the Magic Mirror's like, "All right, I told you." We have the old scary witch with the apple, and she's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get you, Mickey." She's like, "I'm gonna need help." She gets on a Zoom meeting. They page Ursula. They have tried so hard with Ursula here. There has been...
Oh my God, Kenny.
Have you seen the Ursula float? The OG Ursula float? There was an Ursula float that was like a wacky inflatable arm flailing tube man, and her arms would just constantly be doing this, but she would pop all the time. I mean, my girl could not hold it together one bit. And so that got scrapped, and then eventually they're just like, okay, well maybe we'll do like floatsome and jetsome jet skis, but those things kept crashing. Hey, that's what happens when you're in the land of the villains. They stir up so much villain trouble that even Chernabog wakes up, all right? And you don't want Chernabog to get all woken up. He lives in a volcano and he has nipples that are the size of Texas, all right? We've addressed this, all right? Chernabog is a threat. All the villains are ganging up on him, and Maleficent shows up, and it's a man dressed as Maleficent.
My imagination!
Maleficent in drag disappears, and a massive dragon appears from this island. We're in California, in a pretend land, standing in front of a pretend river, and a dragon's just crawled out of the ground. I love this whole segment. For a long time, whenever the dragon breaks, Mickey has to kind of fight Maleficent on a stick for a while. Nothing brings me more joy. Maleficent on the up on the stick. He's just gonna be like, "Hey, Mickey," and Mickey's like, "Hey!" And she just has to laugh a lot. And in the new version of Fantasmic, Mickey is in his Sorcerer Mickey garb. For a while there, he was brave little Tailor fighting the dragon, holding a sword. There's just something about Mickey Mouse holding a weapon that we just don't talk about. It's just like, yeah, he's Mickey, but he just killed that woman. I mean, I know she was evil, but she had it coming. There's something about when you slay a dragon that just makes people want to party. There's just a boat full of people with streamers and fireworks ready to celebrate the minute it happens. And I don't know what committee I have to get on to get approved to be a part of that, but I'd like to get in on that. I'd like to just be waiting. It's like my job for a living, my job would just be to hang out and wait for dragons to get killed. The rolling in of the Mark Twain, full of all the characters, is a really magical kind of moment. We got Steamboat Willie right on top of the steamboat, driving it. It's the moment that started everything, culminating to this celebration of Mickey defeating all the evil in his imagination. We get a whole cheerleader dance routine from every princess and character you could possibly think of. This is the part that gets me every show. Really, it's the part that gets me every show. Mickey Mouse magically transporting from the top of the boat to the top of the shed as full Sorcerer Mickey, where he's just now he's in full control of his imagination again. He's controlling the lights, he's controlling the music, he's controlling the fireworks. He's just throwing flames and magic left and right. Sorcerer Mickey dances on top of that building, commanding the fireworks and all the special effects. And then just like that, he's back in his tux. And he's like, whoa, man, my imagination. What a wild ride, guys, right? Anyway, peace. And then boom, he's gone. And we're all like, thanks, Mickey. You almost got us killed there, man. There's a fire, a dragon. Nearly ate all of us. Thank God you showed up at the last minute. Don't just peace. Can we at least get your autograph, man? And then you realize your legs are asleep because you've been sitting on a sidewalk at Disneyland for 25 minutes. Thanks for watching, guys. I've been a huge fan of Fantasmic for like, I don't know, a decade now, I feel like, and just keeps getting better and better every time I see it. I'm happy for them to update it. I want them to keep updating it. It's a show that's just ready to constantly have new characters and new stories, new songs be placed into it. It's honestly probably one of my favorite Mickey Mouse costumes of all time is in that Fantasmic show with the Steamboat Willie outfit. That's a full grayscale Mickey from top to bottom. And I feel it's a real shame that we don't have the opportunity to meet full grayscale Mickey Mouse on a regular basis in the parks. Just the best of the best. You can't get any better than that. You have to let me know in the comments below what your favorite things from Fantasmic are. Do you like certain numbers, certain dance routines? Do you like certain floats or big spectacle pieces? Let me know in the comments or on Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, and don't forget to head over to thedisneydan.com to find all of my links, including all of our amazing sponsors, all of the social media, as well as my Patreon. Really appreciate you guys watching, and as always, you rock.
Welcome to Fantasmic. Tonight, our friend and host, Mickey Mouse, uses his vivid imagination to create magical imagery for all to enjoy. Nothing is more wonderful than the imagination. For in a moment, you can experience a beautiful fantasy or an exciting adventure. But beware. Nothing is more powerful than the imagination, for it can also expand your greatest fear.